How's it going, everybody? Seth here. We're just going to do some drawing. Now that October is done and horror doesn't exist anymore, we're going to do, just thinking of getting back into some Western stuff with Ragged Rider and things like that. So I'm just going to kind of start with a little warm-up here. I guess if I'm doing Western stuff, probably put on a Western and this jazz. What's Western? Yeah. I was looking up some kind of indigenous mythology and kind of looking around some sites on that. I think I'm gonna do. I found this like Takuhei, something like that. Where Takuhei. I don't know how it's pronounced. Often to be seen in a coat and top hat, and no doubt sneering at comparisons to Bigfoot, who he otherwise resembles. So, I don't know. I like this idea of fancy Bigfoot. So we'll just kind of do that, and then probably go into. I have the Ragged Rider pitch up here too, so I might start inking some of that stuff. Andrew, I think, was doing something, watching a movie or something. He was interested in stepping in. He probably will at some point. He'll probably jump in and let me know he's ready, but he'll probably show up at some point. But yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of doodle this. We want somewhat of a long face here. Do this. But here's. I mean, I'm really just kind of picturing a Bigfoot in a top hat. Make him fancy, though. Finally, November. Daylight savings or some sort of time change. Let me see. It's like so goofy. The top. How does this myth like this start? Some hairy guy in a top hat in the woods. What's this? Telling me he's calling. I'll be ready in like 10. So there you have it. I'll have Andrew here in about 10 minutes. I feel like this hat should be a little ragged. He's wandering around in the woods, hunting prey. I assume we will, I know Andrew is interested in watching a horror movie this morning that I had watched yesterday. I assume we'll talk about some of that. Also, Kirsten and I went through a week-long horror movie marathon that we'll probably talk about. So if you're interested in that, that will probably show up. We watched The Vavitch, which was very good. Watched The Lighthouse, which I didn't care for as much. We watched Annihilation, which was very good. And John Carpenter Apocalypse trilogy, The Thing, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, and then we watched Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Oh, The Thing was good, Prince of Darkness was fine, and In the Mouth of Madness was interesting and fine enough. I liked it better than Prince of Darkness. And then, yeah, yesterday was I gave Kirsten a break since she doesn't like horror movies. And we watched comedy horror, so we watched Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, which I don't think lasted the test of time that I remember watching it when I was like 10. And then Addams Family Values, which they don't make 90s movies like they used to. A lot of sped up spinning. And bow-legged. Then we watched One Cut of the Dead. I think Andrew's watching now, which really impressed both of us, actually. Both Kirsten and I. Wholeheartedly recommend that. Very fun. Rented it on Amazon. And then Little Shop of Horrors, which I don't think either of us super cared for, but ended it up on there. So we'll probably talk about a bunch of that stuff. Andrew's going to try and watch One Cut of the Dead. We'll probably talk about that. Hopefully people are interested in that and don't mind if we go into inevitable spoilers. Boy howdy, I was just kind of glanced over at this analytics, and I don't know how well it is, but that sucker just tanked. Sorry, or maybe you don't want to be spoiled on those. If that's the case, that's fine. This will be up later. This is a Western Wild West aristocrat. Let's figure out what these Western aristocrats are wearing. Look at these young fellows. What do you know? A suit? They didn't have t-shirts. His tie is going to be hidden by his beard. Do gorillas have beards? Do large apes? Great apes. Great apes have beards? Do you consider that a beard on a... I guess not. Gotta give him a vest. Kind of this. How about anybody watching? Did anybody watch anything for Halloween? Any fun little scares or anything? I'm trying to figure out if I want to give him sleeves. pants here. He's supposed to drag around his prey, too. Yeah, why don't we do reverse? Do like a reverse. Is this as stupid as it feels like? We just rip his. Jacket at the. That looks kind of stupid. It's a little. I mean, it's different. Yes. How's it going, Pete? How have you been? I've been seeing you a little bit on the Twitch side of things. Andrew said he was gonna probably play Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes when he gets all set up. So of course I'll put a link in there for anyone interested. And as always, you can find those links down below in the description. How about you, Pete? If you just joined in, I was talking about some Halloween movies Kirsten and I watched over the week and yesterday. Did you guys watch anything holiday thematic? M.A. You guys watch anything good? Or what did you watch? Kirsten doesn't like horror movies, so I usually don't watch them, but we watched The Witch, which, as I've been saying, I would wholeheartedly recommend. One of the better ones we watched. I would wholeheartedly recommend it. Insidious, Conjuring, Annabelle, Hocus Pocus. You know, I haven't seen any of those. I've heard good things about The Conjuring. Maybe Insidious? I think The Conjuring is the one I most was interested out of those. What was your favorite of those? Yes, that was the one in the woods with the goat. It's like a old New England and a myth-esque. It's all. I've heard really good things about The Conjuring and Insidious, really. Our big demon one we watched was Prince of Darkness, which thoroughly spooked Kirsten, and it was good. It wasn't my favorite John Carpenter. We would wholeheartedly, as I've been saying... Oh, Andrew's here. Cool. We'll get Andrew here in this. Before I do, Kirsten and I would wholeheartedly recommend One Cut of the Dead, which Andrew and I will probably talk about. So if you are interested in no spoilers, which I actually rarely get to do, but I went in without really knowing anything, and it was very, very impressive. Let's get Andrew in here. How's it going?
How's it going? I don't know. It seems to be reliable to just get on your YouTube and harass.
No, yeah, you just need to tell me when. I should really just change Discord ringing, but.
So when you have.
Oh, you're playing Kamen Rider now?
Yeah, I'm gonna boot it up.
Okay, let me know. I have chat up, which doesn't work anyways, so whatever.
Yeah, I'm still getting my stuff set up. I literally just sat down. But when you're ready, if you want to share your screen, then I can put your drawing up.
Oh yeah, I need to share. Yeah, what did you guys think of The Witch, Mom and Dad? Also, I haven't heard of The Open House. Open House on Netflix for a Halloween movie.
It's too late. Gotta wait till next year.
I know. It sounds.
I pushed it watching One Cut of the Dead. It slides by being a comedy.
Well, you know, it's funny. We watched Addams Family Values, and it like takes place. They go to summer camp, and Addams Family Values is a weird thing where it's like. It's a Halloween movie only because the Addams Family are, like, a creepy horror family.
Mm-hmm.
And...
God. I don't know what it is with Streamlabs where it'll occasionally just, like, turn off.
Yeah, I had to restart my computer today.
It'll do it, but it only does it if I'm not actively streaming in the moment, so far. I would get very angry if I was streaming and it just shut down.
No, so Addams Family Values, they go to summer camp, and then they put on a Thanksgiving play at summer camp.
Fair enough.
Also...
I barely remember that movie.
I mentioned they don't make 90s movies like they used to. You know what the 90s used to do a lot? Sped up footage of people spinning around. And like I said, there was a Whoop, There It Is... remix of the Addams Family theme at the end, which people don't really do anymore.
Was it Spook, There It Is?
No, it was just like Whoop, the Addams Family, There It Is, or something. It was like, it was so dumb. But it was something where, like, I don't know. I have. It has been a long time since I've seen a movie that ended and then just immediately went into, like, the remix.
That happened for me when I rewatched the Scooby-Doo movies. Which I think we talked about. I think Scooby-Doo, the first, is fine.
You say the second one is, like, the best.
The second movie is the better of the two, and anyone who disagrees, which apparently is everybody, including my Scooby-Doo loving little brother, is wrong.
What an insult.
The second one is so much better.
I
The first one is ashamed of being a Scooby-Doo movie. It's a Scooby-Doo movie for people who remember Scooby-Doo, know that they like Scooby-Doo, but are ashamed to admit that they still enjoy it. The second one is a live-action Scooby-Doo episode.
You know, I have never seen Freaks. I think of Freak. My dad was saying Freaks, and my dad used to always, I say always refer to the movie Freaks, but I remember making a vague reference to when my brother was doing his like high school band stuff. They had the only thing I remember is they had a like photo shoot with the repository, and my dad made a reference to the movie Freaks because they were like crawling out of a elevator, and that's like the only thing I know about Freaks. I think of it more often than I should. Although I did make a Wilbur reference, which I don't know if I learned from that of my dad. Have you ever seen Wilbur?
Is that the movie about the guy with the rats?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I know what it is.
I don't know if that was a reference my dad had made at one point, but I thought about putting the Scooby-Doo movies on our list. But I did Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, which did not hold up for me. Kirsten liked it.
Kyle was like, Scooby-Doo is on. He asked me which is the best Scooby-Doo movie, and I said the Batman Brave and the Bold crossover. He disagreed, and then he said it's actually Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, or Scooby-Doo Zombie Island is also good. And I was like, Kyle, you are not. He likes literally everything but Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, the possibly best actual Scooby-Doo movie.
Kirsten had never seen Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island. She had watched Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which I had not. I think Zombie Island is the only of like the direct to DVD. Like, I know there's one where they go on the they go into the internet. I know there's one where they fight aliens or something. But
so I just discovered, not to cut you off, but I just discovered that I can edit the I knew there had to have been a way. I can edit the
I gotta figure out my YouTube
stream
chat again.
details without actually starting a stream.
That's nice. Yeah, let me know when you're ready. I'll throw you up on my thing so that I don't just have a blank, non-working chat window. But I think Kirsten said Addams Family Values was her favorite of the movies we watched. And it was fine. It was, boy howdy, was it 90s. And there's a couple rough jokes. But it is a well-tuned movie, I would have to say. There's some good one-liners and like just kind of offhanded jokes. Like when Joan Cusack is like talking to Gomez and says like, "Oh, a lady quitter, or what a lady killer we have here," and he's like, "Acquitted," and it's just like a nice clean joke.
Nice clean joke about murdering women.
This
is a nice clean murder women joke.
Also, Christina Ricci as Wednesday does a phenomenal job. And Christopher Lloyd as Fester is very good too.
I can't get this cord to not hold on.
I think everybody kind of does a good job in Addams Family Values. But I assume you ended up watching One Cut of the Dead?
Hold on. I unplugged my headphones because the cord gets so tangled. Yes, I did.
I think that, and then I'm having trouble deciding, out of my favorites, I'm having trouble deciding between One Cut of the Dead, Annihilation, or The Witch. Which, Annihilation, I wouldn't really call much of a horror movie. I can see the argument. And
hold on, give me 1 second.
Always put in this little background here of western mountain ranges, cactuses. So how was the open house? Thoroughly spooky? Yeah, I have not seen Addams Family in a long time. I actually, honestly, it seemed familiar, but I don't know if it was more I was remembering watching it as a kid, or I just like know of it and remember seeing scenes of it. All right, there's our little Hakute or some sort of and said it was also very good.
I read like a summary of the book and I was like, the book seems different enough to probably be warrant. It warrants a read, but I was like, I don't think I care about what the book is as much as I cared about what the movie was, because they seem like completely different entities.
Yeah, he said it was different.
But One Cut of the Dead, very good. Quite liked it. I think I knew a little bit too much going in.
I didn't really know anything going in.
So I think I knew mostly what you did, but I think I inferred more out of it. Like I knew it was a movie about people trying to make a zombie movie when a real zombie movie or a real zombie outbreak happens, and then then I knew that after that it becomes something different. And the whole first half hour of the movie is just
The movie.
Without spoilers, is that premise, and it takes a half hour to get to what the rest of the movie is. And I spent the whole movie going, I don't get it.
That's
like,
kind of where we were.
And I'm like, this is fine and it's fun, but I don't get it. And I kept thinking like, it's got to be almost over. And I looked when you messaged me, and I was like, I'm only a half hour in. I was like, it feels like I'm almost done. Like, this can't go on for another hour. And I was like, but I don't know what it could be that would warrant it. And I kept like thinking, and I kind of guessed what it became, not quite, but I was like, I guess like that's fine. But once it became what it was, I was kind of on board. It was fun. It was interesting. I will say, like, I struggled through the first 30 minutes, not because it was bad, but because I think I knew a little bit too much and also not enough. I mean, I don't think you should, honestly, I think even that premise is a little too much.
I don't know if that premise is a little too much, but
I feel like it is definitely a movie that is better if you know nothing going in.
yes.
I mean, I guess the premise is fine because it's not really what the movie is.
And so if anybody is listening and is interested, or watching and is interested in One Cut of the Dead, you can rent it on Amazon for $4. Well worth
get
it.
A free trial of Shudder and watch it for free, like I did.
Yeah,
Although
well
I paid
worth
for a
it.
month of Shudder because I was like, I'm gonna watch horror movies, and I did.
But you can always watch this stream later. It was very, very good.
Well, I don't want to. For this one, at least, we can maybe next time talk more about the movie. I don't want to get into the movie too much. The only thing I will say is just that first half hour, how I struggled. Especially because I couldn't figure out what... I struggled with the diegesis. I couldn't figure out what was actually happening and what wasn't. And as the movie progresses, that becomes apparent. But there were several moments where I was like, wait, is the cameraman a character or not? Because there are times where they speak to the cameraman, and there are times where the cameraman is literally just a floating camera that is documenting what is happening. And I couldn't figure it out. And eventually the movie does address that, but I was just like, this is sloppy.
So I will say my part here.
Was the point.
I will say my part here, and I will say that after we went through the One Cut of the Dead, you have to make it. It's an hour and a half. You got to make it through that first half hour. But the first half hour is necessary and worth, for us, for Kirsten and I, it was worth the payoff.
I agree. I mean, I don't even think the first half hour is bad. I just felt like the first half hour, not knowing that that's just the first half hour, I was like, I don't think I could sit through 90 minutes. I don't understand why.
I don't think the first half hour is bad either, but it's definitely something you have to get through.
Yes.
And after the first half hour, Kirsten was like, I didn't like that, and I was like, well, I think there's a whole other hour left. And she was like, oh no. And the first half hour is weird. It feels film schooly. It feels amateurish, and that's kind of the point. And there's instances of it where it's like there's kind of funny things in it, and I knew it was a horror comedy.
I laughed every time the director showed back up again.
And there's like
his first reappearance is hysterical.
There's funny bits like that. There's funny bits where it's like kind of B-movie-ish, where the acting is a little goofy. There's things I legitimately laughed at, and it's a weird thing where you don't know if it's supposed to be like is it bad because it's bad, or is it bad because it's supposed to be? And it all cleans up and fixes up and whatever in the second hour, in the half hour to an hour and a half point. And I think it slows down a tiny bit for maybe like 10 minutes or whatever, but once it starts doing what it wants to be doing, it goes by at a very good clip. And I think it's actually like there's spots where like it's very, very funny. There's spots where you start kind of your brain starts turning. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing. Like I am ready. But yeah, very, very good. Highly recommend it. Well, we could talk about it next week or whatever. If people don't want to have to cut this out of their morning routine or whatnot. Wholeheartedly recommend. It was one of my favorites. Like I was saying, I don't know if out of all the movies I watched, The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Thing, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, Addams Family Values, One Cut of the Dead, and Little Shop of Horror, of Horrors. I want to say that One Cut of the Dead was very impressive. It's up there with my favorite, probably vying for that spot with The Witch and Annihilation, but I'm gonna give The Witch, give it to The Witch over Annihilation, just because The Witch is more of a horror movie. But yeah, One Cut of the Dead is very good.
Like Alien Isolation, where I was like, I don't know why I thought I could just.
Are you playing? Should I put you up?
Yep.
Since the chat doesn't work. All right. So if you are interested in watching Andrew play Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes,
with a Z.
Heroes, you can
how to dodge.
And watch that over on our Twitch channel that I put in there, and up. But in the meantime, you can also watch it in the top right here.
There's like I keep saying, when I do it through Streamlabs rather than, because I have the second monitor running your screen, there's like a slight delay, which most games doesn't really matter, but there are times where I kind of notice it.
And this is on
slightly sluggish.
And this is on the Switch, Pete. What he's playing it on.
This is on.
Freshly downloaded yesterday.
Freshly downloaded yesterday, stupidly, because I already have a PS4 copy in the mail, but it's going to take like 2 weeks, and I realized it was going to arrive around the same time as Age of Calamity would be out, and I also think I ordered the wrong one, because when this came out,
I'm surprised you said that the Japan version has English, but Southeast Asia doesn't. Southeast Asia usually has English as opposed to Japan.
Everyone said like Southeast Asia copies usually have English, and like my my Kamen Rider Climax Battle or whatever, and Batride War. Batride War is the Japanese copy, and it's full Japanese. Climax Battle is a Southeast Asian copy, and it has full English. And so I ordered, and I mean, I triple checked because I didn't want to order the on Play Asia, and it said that the English copy was the Southeast Asian one. It was listed as multi-language or something.
Yeah.
But when I checked the eShop for every single country, and only Japan had English. Everything else had Chinese or Korean or Chinese and just Chinese or.
That's so weird.
So, and it sucks because like the Korean copy was way cheaper than this one. It was like $50 equivalent. This, with the exchange rate and everything, this came to, just for the base game, was $80. I decided, fuck it, going all in, and I got the premium sound edition, which has music from the game. I spent $130 on this game, and that's not including the $50 I already spent on the PlayStation 4 copy that's coming. But I bought we're gonna find out when that PlayStation 4 one comes if it has any English on it, because I bought the Southeast Asian.
That's what the Japanese versions, like, licensed music in Japan is expensive.
Yeah, I wonder if like Taiko no Tetsujin is super expensive.
It is, because I've thought about I looked at Taiko no Tetsujin because there's like songs that are on
RPG
that.
RPG one's coming, and I'm excited.
There's songs on the Japanese Taiko no Tetsujin that aren't.
Pete, don't judge me.
That aren't on the US one, but it's like $100
This
or
is not the
$80 or
most
something
money
like
I've
that.
spent on a single Kamen Rider thing, so
Kamen Rider fandom is expensive. That's what I.
international fandom is expensive.
Not if it's
Kamen Rider fandom, especially.
I was gonna say, I mean, not if it's well received. There's just not a huge. You need to import everything because there's not a huge.
There's an announcement recently, so they're just now starting to stream Kamen Rider in America, and there is Kuga is on the Shout. Shit, I forgot how to dodge. The Shout channel. Whereas Agito, the one that comes after Kuga, which, as I understand, is a sequel to Kuga in many respects, is coming to that Toku channel. So you need two different services to watch the two different Kamen Riders.
Gross.
Which is annoying. But yeah, Kamen Rider fandom is expensive. I already spent $50 on a thing for my one of my 001 belts that is apparently never going to come. It got delayed by COVID, and then time passed, and they won't respond, so I don't think it's coming. As long as I can reach a high location with my hands, I can grab on it and climb up high.
Chris and I played the Pikmin demo.
How'd that go? I've never been a Pikmin fan.
She liked it. She really liked it, and I did too. I like Pikmin. I never really played it, but I love the mix of like some puzzling and some like real time. I don't know if it's real time strategy, but just.
Kyle or Sarah had Pikmin on the GameCube, and it didn't do anything for me. I did not care for it.
Boss was really fun.
The Pikmin on the 3DS, and it was more interesting, but I still didn't care enough.
Boss was like a ton of fun. I like kind of throwing the Pikmin around, and
well, we've said I am someone who does not like bosses. There's exceptions to that, but 90% of the time I think bosses are just annoying.
Amy.
But yeah, I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. I don't really remember it very well. I just remember it being kind of like a real-time like worker management thing that I just didn't care for. I just didn't find it interesting. But I'm excited for Age of Calamity. And then I also pre-ordered
PlayStation 5.
Monster Hunter. I'm curious what it's also like playing without the premium sound edition.
It's quiet.
The one review that I watched for this game was someone who doesn't know anything about. He's mentioning how it took him like halfway through the game to realize that W is 2 people. But he mentioned that the premium sound has like music from the game. He's like, I didn't get that one, but the music in the music that is in there, he's like, it's good, it's serviceable. And he said like he's like, there's a bunch of jazz music, which I thought was really nice, which is a W thing. But playing it as soon as his theme started up, I was like, I can't imagine not playing with this.
That's how like the Super Robot Tysons have kind of that approach where you can get an anime thing.
I remember Dragon Ball Fighters had that. You could buy a pack of the music from the show.
Yeah, Pete, if you're interested, there's a Pikmin 3 Deluxe demo that Kirsten and I did. If you want to try Pikmin on the Switch, it's co-op. So like Kirsten and I just kind of played together. It was fun. So you and Kirsten can play if she's interested. It's pretty. I don't know. I always like Pikmin are kind of goofy in their own right.
I always liked Olimar and Smash, but
yeah. But yeah, I would definitely recommend giving Pikmin a try, especially since you have the opportunity. What is that hand? That's a hand.
Use the dendens.
Doesn't make. But that's what I drew, so we're gonna keep.
Well, you already put barriers up. What does it matter? Try using the dendens.
So Andrew, Pete was saying he watched Insidious, Conjuring, Annabelle, and Hocus Pocus.
I barely remember Hocus Pocus. I think I've seen Insidious. Is that the one with like there's like a home movie and there's like a spooky boogum in it?
Isn't that Damien? Isn't that there's always a church, but there was like a demon child? Or is that the Omen? That's the Omen.
That's the Omen.
When he throws like a big concrete slab at the nanny.
Jack.
Sounds like a Jack attack.
Attacking my 0-1 belt.
Attacking your Jack?
I swear to God, if she pushed that thing behind the bookcase again, I'm gonna kill her. Give me a second.
I can't draw this hand anymore. How did I do this? This is why it's nice to... I could get to go to my brother's and have all the fun of a cat and a baby, but no responsibility, and then I can just leave.
This is why I have nothing up in my apartment. This cat just knocks it down all the time.
Supposedly they're making... What was the best Insidious movie? Pete? He was saying supposedly they're making a 5th one. I wonder whatever happened with the back-to-back shootings of Final Destination 6 and 7.
I didn't know they were making more.
Yeah, they were filming them back-to-back. That's what I remember hearing.
Oh, there's so much. I should have run through all this last night.
I think I was reading something about Fast and the Furious.
They're shooting two more Back to the Future. Two more Fast and Furious movies back to back.
And those are like the end of the
main
arc.
series. I'm sure they'll keep making spin-offs and stuff. But
Right.
the main Fast and Furious, those are the last two.
I drew this centaur so long ago. I honestly don't understand it. I like don't know what these lines mean. But I'm just going for it, you know?
Just living your dream.
This hat? God. What was I doing?
I don't even know what these are.
Did you, and how about, my parents watched The Open House.
I don't know what that is.
Netflix Halloween movie. Probably about
Oh, I think I
spooky
remember hearing
realtor.
about that from a couple years ago. What the heck is Dodge? Oh shoot, it had all the buttons on the screen.
And then we talked about Freaks and Willard.
What?
I said, then we talked about Freaks and Willard.
No, I was talking about development blueprint for the Accelerator Striker. When a fully developed version is equipped, it will increase Kamen Rider's attack strength, all out of greater damage. Okay.
So now that horror movies don't exist anymore, what's you looking forward to?
I don't know. I'm finishing up Kamen Rider Drive, and I jumped back into Neo Ultra Q. But other than that, I don't know. Nothing. I don't really watch movies. I always tell myself, like, I put and they'll sit there forever, but I never feel like it's a lot easier to be like, I'll spend 6 hours watching a TV show than I'll spend the 90 minutes to 2 hours to watch this movie.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, we've been like, this is probably the most movies we've watched in years.
I'll also say, being on this, I cannot wait to get back to a normal work schedule, because
Yeah.
being on this late shift, like, I don't feel like watching a movie before work.
Right.
And when I get home, I just want to go to bed. Like, last night I was like, well, I'll get through like all the tutorial stuff in Kamen Rider so that I'm not sitting through all these screens like I am now when I start streaming. But I started it and I was like, I am so tired, and I wanted to watch One Cut of the Dead. And I was like, I don't think I'll be able to. I'm glad I didn't, because I would not have been able to make it through that first half hour. I would have called it, just because that, again,
It's
there's
different.
nothing wrong with it. It's just,
I think there's things wrong with it without the context.
well, yeah, there's things intentionally wrong with it, but I had enough context to know that it was probably going to pay off. I just know that I would have started it and been like, I am too tired for this. And if I hate stopping a movie, because if I stop a movie, like, I never want to go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'll just go to bed early and hopefully wake up early enough to get it watched before we stream.
Yeah, we need to. We'll probably get back into our TV shows. Finish up Taboo. We have to do that and get that out of there. Finish up Astra Lost in Space. Get that out of there. I don't know. We were gonna watch Rebecca, and didn't because it's not a horror movie. And then I was kind of thinking, well, maybe we'll do like a thriller thing, and so I was thinking like Misery or Picnic at Hanging Rock. But who knows?
I should have just booted up Mario. I can't pay attention to what's going on. I have no idea like what any of these. It's teaching me like all the mechanics, and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, probably if you like knew what you were doing, you could play it. Well, I don't know. It's almost been an hour. I might pack it up a little bit. Need to check on Kirsten first.
I got through the tutorial last night, and I was like, I know the combat. That should be good enough. Because I know the game is like 90% combat, but now it's like teaching me all the other.
And that's not like a.
Mechanics.
That's not like a Uso game. It's like its own little action adventure game, right?
Yeah, but I heard like the review I watched, and I kind of agree with it so far. Compares the combat to like a Muso, or just kind of like attack.
Yeah, it's just like a action adventure game kind of. Is it just W O's and
WO's in 0-1, and then I know
I assume Saber's in.
all of their forms are in it, including some movie forms. And then I know that whether it's like a post-game thing or whatnot, I know Axel, who is the secondary from W, and both Births, who are the secondaries for O's, are in here. I do not know. I have not seen anything to say that the secondaries from 0-1 are in here, which is a shame because Vulcan and Valkyrie are pretty great. How do I...
Long ago did I draw this? Date on this?
Can I only have one equipped?
I started this pitch a while ago and then got off. May? This says May. I put a date in here somehow. So May. Why does it look old and bad? Or you're just wondering... Are you just surprised I'm drawing Cowboy Mummy stuff?
I'm surprised you're drawing Cowboy Mummy stuff. Where did you go?
I'm just doing it, man.
It's like you actually want to finish or something.
Now that we have jobs that we don't hate, better time.
People were talking to me about, like, are you ready to join the corporate world and everything? And I was like, man, I'm already done. It's like the last day of school where I'm just like, I am tuned out for 2 weeks. I'll show up, I'll do what's asked, and then I am gonzo.
I kept telling people that, like, I wanted to do was be a number.
Zoom.
Now I am.
Just a cog in the machine.
Yeah, I love it. It's the best. I'm not, like, no one's pretending I'm family. I'm, like, not even allowed to do overtime.
That's a big thing with my company, is that family bullshit where it's like, we're a family. Everyone's expected to do all this extra stuff because
we're family.
It's the company is a family. It's like, no, the company pays my bills.
Yep.
Like, I owe you nothing. I give you all my time. I don't owe you any of this bullshit.
I always remember my old boss just, like, legitimately asked me, like, why do you think people don't want to stay late? What do you mean? What a stupid question.
Because they already spend so much time here.
Because they spend 8 hours of their day here.
Oh, it's this button.
They just want to go home and, like... He also used to say, like, I've never missed a paycheck. Like, yeah, that's the bare minimum, dude. Like, that's not... I'm grateful that you haven't missed a paycheck, but that's like the bare minimum I require from my employer. It's like, man, you paid me on time? Sweet. I'm not working for someone that won't pay me on time. Like, that's not something to be proud of. I mean, I guess it is, but it's so...
minor.
It's like... assumed. You know, like, if I'm gonna get a job, I assume I'll be able to, like, they'll just pay me every
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete, way out of touch. That's the answer.
I keep forgetting how to dodge. It's mapped to a button that I would really like it to be a different button.
This is this. I mean, here's a fun thing for artists. Draw something like May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Draw something 5 to 6 months ago, and then ink it. What was I doing? What are these lines? None of these spot. I'm not good at spot blacks, but I think I have like some spot blacks going on here.
Damn it.
So we, for our Halloween, we did frozen appetizers for the day.
What?
Frozen appetizers day. We were eating like bagel bites and frozen taquitos and stuff like that.
All right.
It took us until like 6 o'clock to feel super sick. Which is impressive. We thought we would get super sick at 3. But we had... Let's see, what did we have? We had potato chips and French onion dip, and tortilla chips, and queso blanco and salsa. We had soft pretzels and taquitos, bagel bites, jalapeno poppers, and mozzarella sticks. And then we eat these like s'mores Oreos, which are fantastic. They're like marshmallow cream in between a chocolate and like vanilla wafer. Very good for anybody interested. Yeah, when we got to the jalapeno poppers and mozzarella sticks, I like muscled them down and absolutely gross. But I was reminded, I was like really craving mozzarella sticks. And I remember my parents used to eat mozzarella sticks, and maybe they'll remember them. Or not mozzarella, did I say mozzarella sticks? I was really craving jalapeno poppers, and I remember my parents having jalapeno poppers every now and then. And I didn't like peppers, so I used to take them, eat like the fried cream cheese.
Stops and starts so much.
I used to take them, eat the fried cream cheese, and then leave the jalapeno. Because that's just the kind of person I was. I also used to... We made stuffed mushrooms. You know, where you take like sausage and cheese and put them in a mushroom cap. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms, so I used to just take them and eat the sausage and cheese out of the mushroom cap and then throw the mushroom cap away.
Hey, what am I looking for?
I wonder if this is what my parents like about watching me draw. Is you reminisce about that childhood and wasting food.
Oh, I can transform now.
I can't believe there's not any Saber stuff in there.
I can. Saber just came out.
Yeah, but you'd think they would like tell them like, hey, just throw in like
I mean, maybe he'll be a DLC. I don't know if DLC is coming, but
I mean, I guess so. It just feels like a missed opportunity to me to
I am honestly not at all surprised that he's not in. His show just started. This is all built around like everybody in their and he hardly has anything right now.
I guess that's true. It just seems like you'd want to tie in.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be going by movie logic. He would absolutely show up at the end because that's how you do Rider movies. You know, the main movie for the current series will have the first appearance of the next Rider, which didn't happen this year because of COVID. Man, you don't even sound like Philip.
What do you mean? I'm sad. You just wake up. Andrew, you're gonna be late for your first day at Shears.
What's up, Brad?
How much would that suck?
How much would what suck? Being late?
You were gonna be late for your first day at Shears.
I just missed a joke.
What?
I think it was a joke about double and W being a play on words, but I wasn't paying attention because you were asking me a dumb question.
Mine was a joke too.
This has stopped and started so many times. It literally gave me control to walk like 2 steps forward.
Oh, I should at least finish this. I only got a couple things left. Oh, I didn't even draw his hand in this. Oopsie. WBX. That's the theme song for W?
WBX is the theme song for WBS.
Is it a radio station?
Yep. That would be like, it needs one more letter to be a radio station.
Is that true?
Isn't it always 4 letters for a radio station?
Mm-hmm. What about Mix 92.1? That's a lot of letters.
I hate you. I don't know why you're like this.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't even listen to the radio.
All the Rider themes slap. Especially all 3 for this game.
That you had to spend a bunch for.
That I had to spend,
It's a premium.
Spend almost double the price for.
Worth it.
It honestly, for an idiot like me, it is.
Oh, it's not. You're not an idiot. You're a big Kamen Rider fan.
I thought you were gonna say I was a big boy.
You're a big idiot. Big idiot.
You're a big dumb moron.
You're not an idiot. You're a big dumb idiot. What they say about big dumb idiots.
Yeah, big dumb. Your parents are watching.
That's a good joke, though. I didn't need you to say it, but that's a good joke. Regardless of how disappointed my parents are in me. I mean, this... My parents went 30 years before I decided to air my dirty laundry on YouTube. Then they were like, oh, this is our... I remember when I was younger, I swore... Because I was a kid. Kids swear, parents. But I blamed it on my dad. And that couldn't have been good for him.
I can't picture your dad swearing.
My dad swore.
I can picture your dad biting the head off of a live dove.
Yeah, and then he swears. It was a bat, by the way. No, I was playing like an NHL game, and I lost the puck, and I was like, shit. And then I was like, I don't know, 10, 12 or something. Tweens. And then I just kind of like stood there dumbfounded. And my dad was sitting next to me watching, and I was just like, I learned that from you. That was like a really shitty move to do. So since you're watching, Dad, I apologize. That was mean of me as an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old. Put you in that situation. But look at me now. I use the F word.
Big shot on YouTube.
Big shot on YouTube.
Damn it.
Making that YouTube money. Maybe he said he can't picture my dad swearing either. Maybe I'm letting my dad's dirty laundry.
I finally got a dodge to work, and I forgot what button I needed to press in order to do a counterattack.
I still need to... I've been thinking I need to call my parents. I say my parents, but my dad.
Because he's the only one that matters.
No, I don't know.
Your moves are weak, Mom.
That's not true. But no, I just have like some like dad specific stories that I'm just like, hey, remember this? This was a thing that I feel like you should know because it made a big good impacts on me. It's like things that I remember that have turned me into who I am today.
Yeah, I don't think any of mine would be positive.
I'll try and call sometime this week. It sucks. I used to call every... I mean, maybe I'll do that again. I guess with Kirsten working from home, we walk. We don't really have that time either. But I'll try and call sometime this week. Buckle up. My parents said, you're too funny. What about the story of when I brought, I got the typewriters from my grandparents, and I brought them over, and we were having fun with them.
That's a Seth story, though. That's not a parent story.
And your dad was pissed that we were having so much fun with it. And what about when we had to change the tire?
Okay, that is a Seth and my mother's story. That one's pretty good. But
I have all the good.
Less of like a positive story about my. That was more...
I have all the good stories with your mom. She loves
to hear that.
She loves the one where I fell asleep during Les Mis.
Am I not supposed to jump through that? Am I just supposed to jump through this? I wasn't paying attention. Nope. What am I?
Your mom loves the story about me falling asleep during Les Mis.
Yeah, but again, that's a Seth story more
I know.
than a parent's story. What am I doing wrong? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to... Oh, I'm supposed to go back. That's why.
We have to go back. Did you know that?
Oh, hey. And yeah, Brad, one day I'll do Phasmophobia or whatever. Once my schedule clears up, I actually should be able to a little easily. You keep messaging me when I'm at work. But I only got to deal with that for 2 more weeks.
That was during New York, Pete. I was there for art.
Damn it.
Andrew's mom took me to Nintendo World. Your mom is so nice, Andrew. To me.
My mom took you to Nintendo World?
I think so. Because nobody else wanted to go. And that was like the only reason I went to New York. I was like, I'm going to walk around New York by myself. And then your mom was like, I'll take you. And then, I mean, that's like our trip to Paris. I was like, all I want to do is this.
When you bought games at Nintendo World, did my mom ask why you're buying so many games? Because you don't.
I didn't buy games at Nintendo World because she already shamed me. That's not true. Why 1 to 2? Why 2 weeks?
Give me the prompt. There we go.
Are you referring to Andrew, Dad? I assume so. Did you just say something about 2 weeks? I don't think I did.
I did.
You did.
In 2 weeks, my new schedule starts.
Yeah, Andrew got a new job. Well, like a weird new job promotion. I don't know what you call it.
Climb up using a ladder.
Yeah, that's what I would call it. Andrew got a new climb up using a ladder. A business ladder.
The business ladder. The business ladder of life.
Yeah. Yeah, so Andrew has been on a, what is it, third shift? Is that what they call it?
Yep.
Andrew's been on third shift for a while, and he's,
it feels like forever, but I guess it's only been like a month and a half or something.
It feels like forever. Yeah, so in a week
like
and a...
Forever.
So my parents said congrats.
Thank you. I'm heading to corporate, gonna be 9 to 5, working apparently partially from home and partially at corporate.
That'll be nice.
Monday through Friday, Seth and I can stream.
Gotta play those anime trading card games. They're not gonna play themselves. What about when your dad was playing board games with us?
And he came down and did his stupid victory dance because
Yeah.
he's a sore winner.
Yeah. You have Todd stories.
I have Todd stories.
I can also imagine your parents swearing.
They all lead to, like, I think they are good signs of why I am the. Kyle and I had like a talk like 2 years ago about, and I realized like, oh, this is why I have horrible anxiety. This is why I'm like a weird goofball all the time. It's because my parents are so damn serious.
And you needed
I'm like acting out as a 30-year-old.
You can't control me, Dad. See, I mean, See, but I'm like this because my parents were like this, I think. I don't know. I used to scare my dad when he came home from work. And then I got kind of reprimanded because... Not probably funny. Where I would just hide behind our kitchen island when my dad came home and I'd jump out. I'm sure he loved it. After working 8 hours, just being horribly frustrated, and then his stupid 10-year-old popped out and scared him. Miserable experience. I was a terrible kid. You know that? But it made me who I am today. A rich YouTuber.
Oh, I'm spelling it down. Because it's Japanese.
Yeah, there you go, Dad. He's giving him those wicked compliments.
Some mad Pete compliments.
Huh. My dad was. My mom was too. A little bit. Not as much as my dad. I feel bad. This is a lot of dad love, not a lot of mom love. Mom love next week. Well,
I didn't mean to do that, but okay.
I didn't think of it. I remember getting sick eating chocolate chips on the couch with my mom, and I threw up. That doesn't sound like a fond memory, but that's a fond memory of mine. That's something that is withheld years and years of other things I needed to read. Math. Well, thanks, Pete. Your place wasn't that half bad itself. That wasn't a sentence, but you can use those words. Choose your own sentence. All right. Oh, should I always Oh, but this is like a weird one. Please sign full page spreads. Go ahead and do that. Here's a story for you, Pete, and then I might call it once I finish this, and all I needed. We are playing Myst or Riven, one of the Myst games, and we were having fun, and so we asked your parents if you could spend the night, and you could. And so we played Riven with. We didn't really play Myst. Yeah, it had to have been Myst because Riven's way longer. But we played Myst just going off of a. Yeah, if it was Myst 2, then that's Riven. But Riven's way longer. I remember it was, and I know both of them kind of have like Rube Goldberg, Metal Ball, roller coaster puzzles. But I remember just playing this thing. Yeah, that's what Pete and I did. We pulled an all-nighter on Myst and just using a walkthrough. But we like hit it whenever my parents are around to pretend that we were smart and figuring it out on our own.
Keep wanting to use Muso controls to dodge.
But that's a memory of mine that I remember, just like playing through Myst with a walkthrough and pretending that we weren't. But yeah, I've been meaning to replay Riven for a long time. I've tried to get Kirsten into it. She played Myst. We played Myst not too long ago. She said it was a little obtuse, if I remember right. Which is fair. That's fair. And I think she'd like Riven more, because you have to like... Riven like made up its own math language. But last I remember, there wasn't like a good version of Riven to play. But I know they just came out... I think they just came out with Myst on the Switch, like real Myst. Where it's free roam. Or at least not just like clicking through. Yeah, Myst is very obtuse. And I don't remember... I mean, we couldn't have been that. We were probably... I mean, all these stories happened at like 10 to 12 or 20 stuff. They couldn't have been that. We were not smart enough for Myst. I think Kirsten made it a fair bit in Myst. But I did have to help her here and there. Especially with like, there's the music puzzle. Where you have to like guide the tram based on musical notes. That's downright impossible. Another thing I remember is having friends over for my birthday and getting Black and White and installing it and spending like all night installing it on the computer.
I remember Black and White being like...
Well, it was Black and White 2.
Until you play it and you're like, oh, this is not at all delivering upon...
I think I never made it far in Black and White 2. I remember making it...
2.
I remember 2 is sweet. 2 is a ton of fun.
I think I remember 1 being such a disappointment that I didn't play 2, but I might have.
But I remember I like made it off the first island that's like all tutorial. And then you actually have like other gods you're competing with. And it was so hard. And I like didn't understand what was going on. All I remember was like teaching my evil cow to like poop in other villages' granaries.
I remember the game like being fun. But I also remember it like...
I remember being really disappointed going to the other map and there was like a turtle.
I just remember like very quickly realizing like there's not a lot.
We did do that. We asked my dad. My dad was installing it, and I had a bunch of friends over for my birthday, and we every like 20 minutes we'd be like, "Is it done? Is it done? Is it done?" And since it was like Microsoft 95, it was not done. And I think it finished up at like 11 p.m. And I think it was. I mean, it was a multi-disc game. It might have been 4 discs.
I remember installing Black and White, and it took forever. My buddy and I were all pumped to play it like that night, and it didn't like fully install until way late.
That's what happened with us.
But I remember like being so pumped for it, and it was all like hyped up and everything, and then
I didn't understand Black and White 2, but I had fun with it. I had fun, like, turning trees into lumber and throwing people into the water and casting
I had
spells.
fun with it as like a sandbox goofing off, playing it as.
I'd like to try it again, but I don't think it's possible. I mean, maybe I'm sure it is, but I don't think it's on. A lot of those
games you can never go back to.
Maybe I would love a Black and White 3. It's never gonna happen because Lionsgate doesn't exist anymore. But I mean, I liked Populous and like all those God games. I really. I think not drawn anymore, but this is fun conversation.
Brad, I can't.
You can't.
I get stupid with those sort of things. I will spend money. I will spend so much money. I can't do it.
Is there a TMNT Kickstarter coming out, or
there's a TMNT Smite? Smite is like
Smite's like another Paragons or League of Legends or Overwatch game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's made by the same people that do Paladins. And they've got like a TMNT thing coming. I'll get stupid. I'll spend money. I mean, when they did Kamen Rider Puzzle Dragons, like, and I
that was enough
into it at the very end. I mean, I spent like $20 on it just to get Forze and double and everything, and then I realized I was contemplating spending even more money, and I was like, I'm not gonna play this once it's over. And literally, once the Kamen Rider stuff was done, I was like, I'm done. I can't. Like, the game wasn't that interesting, and it was so grindy.
You know what's a story I remember from my mom? My mom made me a teddy bear beach cake. Not a teddy bear. Teddy Graham beach cake.
Why are we telling stories about your parents? Not
because my parents are awesome.
Just wondering where it came from.
I think it started... Well, early it started, I think before you came in, my dad was commenting on, like, horror movies, and he mentioned Freaks, and I kind of commented on some stories I remembered about that, and then we were talking about... Where did this come from? Go through this.
You know what? I've decided if you got to research it, I don't.
Oh, because we were talking about us swearing, and then I was like, my parents heard me swear before, and I was telling a story about that, and then we just kind of went down memory lane.
Wait, it's the first Nazca? He did.
You like Nazca?
What do you mean?
Or are you talking about the Nazca lines?
I'm talking about the character Nazca, who uses the Nazca memory, which is named after the Nazca lines.
I was talking about Nausicaa of the Valley of the...
Never seen it.
I think I have, and I didn't care for it. I love Ghibli films. That one didn't hit me. I think we are so close to starting Sailor Moon. So pumped. Yeah, that's the only one. I mean, I like Ghibli films, and I mean, some are definitely better than others, but Nausicaa was a little... And I don't know if that's I think that's one of those weird ones where it's like Hayao Miyazaki, but it's not necessarily Ghibli. But either way, I think that's the only Ghibli film that I haven't done much. Thank you. Yeah, I can flip through this, just kind of where it's at, or just kind of sitting here. thanks for stopping in. Hope you enjoyed everything. I'll call sometime this week, and we'll reminisce on some stuff.
Damn it! I feel like I'm gonna struggle with this unless I get it on my second screen. Damn it! I forgot that you had to use a completely different button that you don't use for anything else in order to counterattack. Damn it.
I think I might pop off here too. Andrew, I might stick around for you, but I think I'm going to stop the stream. I'm not really doing anything, and people are heading out, so I'm going to call this. You're going to keep playing, right?
Yep.
And then
I got
an hour. So yeah, I'll meet you. Well, I meet you as relative since I'm not going to get off call here, but I'm going to stop streaming.
another hour to spare.
So thanks anybody for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed a little trip down my childhood memories. But if you like this, please tell a friend. I'm going to probably keep doing these Cowboy Mummy drawings and pages throughout these Sundays. So thanks for, or I guess if you liked it, please tell a friend. Check out the links in the description below. That's all our social media and everything. That'll let you know when we're going live and what we're doing. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm doing. I know I'm not playing. Usually Mondays are Arkham Horror, the card game. I know that's not happening. Tuesday, I think I'm going to keep doing Alien, at least for the time being. And Wednesday, game night with Fantasy Realms. That's all I have scheduled. But again, if you interact with those buttons down below, like, smash, subscribe, bell, all that stuff, certainly be told where and when.
Come on.
What, where, and when. And then, yeah, if you want, you can keep catching me over on Twitch. Links in the chat. Link is also description below. So I'll be over there, hanging out with Andrew some more. Yeah. Hope to catch you next time. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good one.